It's time to wake up because we have evidence that two of the biggest financial giants in the world just confirmed Hal Finney's $10 million Bitcoin prediction. We're talking about BlackRock, MicroStrategy, and the future of global finance. Remember Hal Finney's thought experiment from 2009, Bitcoin capturing $100 trillion of global wealth, making each Bitcoin worth a humble $10 million? Well, you better buckle up. We're about to explore how Bitcoin's value compared to bonds, gold, and even the housing market shows us that this future might already be in motion. And Hal Finney nailed it. I'm Rustin, we are Simply Bitcoin, and you're going to want to stay until the finish because we have some of the most bullish news in the history of humanity to get to. Send it!
Get the f out of bed, bitch, go.
All right, let's roll back to 2009. Hal Finney, one of the earliest Bitcoin pioneers, threw out a wild prediction, $10 million Bitcoin. He imagined a world where Bitcoin would become the dominant store of value and take over a significant portion of the world's wealth, $100 trillion to be exact, which would mean each Bitcoin would be worth approximately $10 million. Now, at the time, absolutely insane, crazy thought experiment, right? But now we're here in 2024, and the pieces of that puzzle are starting to fall into place. Hal's idea was simple. If Bitcoin can take over a big enough slice of the global financial system, $10 million Bitcoin is possible, and now it's looking a lot less like science fiction and more like financial reality. I mean, fast forward to today, we've got Michael Saylor, probably the biggest Bitcoin bull on the planet. His company, MicroStrategy, has gone all in on Bitcoin. They've got $16 billion worth of Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and Saylor just announced that his goal is to turn MicroStrategy into the world's first Bitcoin bank. You heard that right. A company whose financial foundation is Bitcoin, issuing capital market products, equity, bonds, convertibles, all tied to Bitcoin's price movements. Now, here's why this matters. What Finney imagined was Bitcoin becoming a global store of value, taking over the role traditionally held by bonds, real estate, and even gold. What Saylor is doing is accelerating that process. By turning Bitcoin into a foundation for capital markets, it's not just an asset anymore. It's becoming a part of the financial system itself. And then we have Larry Fink at BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world. BlackRock now holds over 369,640 Bitcoin worth over $24 billion. And they're absolutely leading the charge on institutional Bitcoin adoption. Fink used to be a major skeptic, but now he's saying Bitcoin could grow to match the $50 trillion US housing market. That's insane, right? Well, it wasn't technically what was said, but very close. And it gets better because Larry Fink is treating Bitcoin not just as another asset, but as an alternative to gold, a store of value that could capture institutional money on a massive scale. What Fink said was that he sees similarities between Bitcoin and other financial products. He noted, quote, "Years ago, when we started the mortgage market, years ago when the high yield market occurred, it started off very slow. And this is where we got the inference, him suggesting that Bitcoin has a long-term role in finance comparable to that of the housing and mortgage market." All right, so let's put this all together. Hal Finney predicted a world where Bitcoin absorbs trillions of dollars in global wealth, which would drive its price to $10 million per coin. But now look at what's happening. Michael Saylor is turning Bitcoin into the backbone of corporate finance, securitizing it and using it to create capital market products. Larry Fink is pushing Bitcoin as a core asset for institutional investors, treating it like digital gold and predicting it could even rival the US housing market. Hal Finney saw this coming a decade before anyone else did. Saylor's Bitcoin Bank and Fink's institutional push are both confirmation that Bitcoin is slowly but surely taking over as the world's store of value. Finney's idea wasn't just a prediction, it was a blueprint, and we're seeing it unfold in real time right now. We're about to bring it home for the bullish finish. But before we do, look at our likes.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Like and subscribe this video. Give us a pep as we take a moment to recognize our sponsors, the masters of Bitcoin self-custody, the Bitcoin Way. If you're looking to learn how to Bitcoin, how to properly secure your Bitcoin, you might want to head on over to the newly revamped Bitcoin Way website where you can begin your road to Bitcoin sovereignty today. If you're looking to schedule a free 30-minute consultation, go ahead and use that link below in the show notes. All right, now strap in. Right now, Bitcoin's market cap sits around 1.3 trillion. That's impressive. But let's compare it to the real heavyweights in global finance. The US bond market, that's 100 trillion. Gold, 12 trillion. And the US housing market, a staggering 50 trillion. Bitcoin still has a long way to go. We're going to look back and these numbers are just going to be irrelevant. And the key here is the growth potential. In short, if we kind of peek behind it, it looks like Larry Fink believes Bitcoin could reach $3 million and 50x from here. And as we touched on with bonds, that's a $100 trillion market. And LeClaire has just said that Bitcoin is a $100 trillion idea. And with BlackRock and MicroStrategy stacking sets and creating financial products around Bitcoin, we're already seeing the groundwork being laid for Bitcoin to grow into these larger markets. You want to know how bullish all this is? Well, I'm going to let LeClaire break it down for you. Roll it!
The reality here is that Bitcoin, it's $1.5 trillion today. This is a $100 trillion idea. This is a $100 trillion technology. Money itself is the biggest total addressable market in the world. And bonds, stocks, real estate have all sort of been monetized in a world where the dollar, the euro, the yen can't work as a store of value. Wall Street is starting to understand that this is not just a speculative asset to punt around. This is something that should be in every core portfolio, in every retirement account, in every pension, in every young investor's portfolio, in every corporate balance sheet. MicroStrategy and the Bitcoin strategy they adopted in August of 2020 has outperformed 500 out of 500 S&P 500 stocks since that time, right? It's outperformed everything on the planet, including NVIDIA. This is the biggest story in corporate finance, how a $1 billion NASDAQ business intelligence company just changed their unit of account and has become a $36 billion market cap in 4 years. This idea that dilution is the scariest thing in the world. Saylor and MicroStrategy's playbook flipping it on its head, where shareholders cheer every time new stock is issued, new convertible debt is issued to buy additional Bitcoin. It started as a defensive, protective strategy and has since turned into an offensive strategy, where Bitcoin and the volatility that so many people for so many years said was something to avoid at all costs, MicroStrategy and Saylor are leveraging that volatility to their advantage. They have the lowest cost of capital out of anybody on the planet, borrowing billions of dollars for 82 basis points.
Wow.
Right? So this is really not understood. It's still early days, remarkably so. And I think Saylor and MicroStrategy continue chugging on from here.
All this is what makes Hal Finney's $10 million prediction feel not only possible, but at this point, it may be inevitable. If Bitcoin can take a significant portion of global financial assets, bonds, gold, even real estate, we're going to be looking at an asset that surpasses every store of value on the planet. Let's talk about supply and demand. Bitcoin's fixed supply, 21 million coins. 21 million ever. And it is one of the most powerful features. Right now, Bitcoin reserves on exchanges are hitting record lows and institutional demand is surging. That means less Bitcoin available for sale and more demand from people and institutions who want to get in before the price skyrockets to $10 million like Hal Finney predicted. This is exactly the kind of supply squeeze that Hal Finney anticipated. As demand increases and supply decreases, price is only one way to go, up. And with BlackRock, MicroStrategy, and other institutions just aping in, the squeeze is just getting started.
The demand for the spot ETFs, especially the new ones, net, has been far in excess of the supply from the miners every day. The difference between Bitcoin and the Magnificent Seven is Bitcoin's an asset class. It's not a company. There's not enough room in the capital structure of those companies to hold $10 trillion or $100 trillion worth of capital. So Bitcoin's competing against gold, which is 10x what it is right now. It's competing against the S&P index. It's competing against real estate, $100 trillion plus asset class, as a store of value.
What do you think? Did BlackRock and MicroStrategy just confirm Hal Finney's $10 million Bitcoin prediction? It sure looks like it. Between Saylor building the foundation for a Bitcoin bank and Fink positioning Bitcoin as a core institutional asset, we're seeing the early signs of Bitcoin capturing trillions of dollars in global wealth as Bitcoin grows to rival bonds, gold, and housing. The idea of a $10 million Bitcoin is becoming, well, more and more real. Whether you think Bitcoin can reach $10 million or not, one thing is certain. The biggest players in global finance are betting big on Bitcoin. And we're just at the beginning. Hal Finney's prediction was more than a dream. It's a vision that's slowly becoming reality. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Be sure to like, subscribe, give us a pat, share the Sound Money Gospel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. I'm Rustin, and you just experienced Simply Bitcoin Originals. I'll catch you next time. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, fuck you.